All right, let's jump right in. We are doing a deep dive into the Southern Ontario real estate market specifically for September 2025. Whether you're thinking about buying, getting ready to sell, or you just want to understand what on earth is going on, we are going to break it all down. So, the big question on absolutely everyone's mind, from downtown Toronto all the way out to Waterloo, is actually pretty simple. In this market that is so obviously shifting, who's really calling the shots? Is it the sellers, who are still kind of hoping for those peak prices? Or have buyers finally got some room to breathe? Well, the answer is pretty darn clear. All the data, every single indicator, is pointing to one thing. It is a buyer's market. After years, and I mean years, of crazy bidding wars and sight-unseen offers, the power has officially shifted. We're seeing more inventory, softer prices, and that means buyers finally have something they haven't had in a very long time: leverage. But of course, buyer's market doesn't mean the same thing everywhere you go. The reality on the ground can feel totally different depending on your postal code. So let's take a look at how this is all playing out in three key areas: the GTA, Hamilton, and the Waterloo region. This chart tells a really consistent story across the board. Look, no matter which region you're in, two things are happening. Sales are down compared to last year, and the inventory, the number of homes for sale, is high. That is the classic recipe for a buyer's market. And when you have more homes for sale than people buying them, well, prices are going to feel that pressure, especially in places like Hamilton and Waterloo. And right here, you can see just how different that experience can be. I mean, it's a tale of two markets. You've got these super sought-after Toronto neighborhoods, think Rosedale or High Park, where prices are holding up remarkably well. But then you drive out to the outskirts of Hamilton or into Brantford, and it is a totally different world. Those areas are seeing the steepest price drops because a flood of new supply is hitting a market where buyers are a lot more cautious now. You know, it's not just about where you're looking, it's also about what you're looking for. The type of home you're after makes a huge difference right now. So let's break down that divide between detached homes, townhomes, and condos. This chart really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? The entire market is adjusting for sure, but you can clearly see that the condo segment is feeling the most heat. It's got the biggest year-over-year price decline. Townhomes, on the other hand, seem to be holding their value the best. It really tells you that buyers might be thinking about space a little differently in this new climate. So why are condos under so much pressure? Well, it really just boils down to good old supply and demand. There are simply too many condos for sale right now for the number of buyers out there looking. This supply overhang, as they call it, is the single biggest challenge facing that part of the market. And this insight from market analysts just nails it. It's kind of a double whammy. You've got a surplus of units for sale, and at the same time, investors, who are a huge driver of the condo market, are getting cautious. Think about it. With higher carrying costs and a rental market that's also softening, a lot of investors are hitting the pause button. That cools demand even more, especially right in the cores of Toronto and Mississauga. Okay, so we've seen what's happening. It's a cooler, more buyer-friendly market. But the real question, the bigger question, is why? What are the forces under the surface that are shaping all these trends? Now, we've thrown this term around a couple of times, so let's just quickly define it. Months of inventory. Basically, imagine if not a single new home was listed for sales starting today. This number tells you how many months it would take to sell everything that's currently on the market. A high number, which is what we're seeing right now, means tons of choice for buyers. And that, right there, is the core reason they have the upper hand. So this whole market shift isn't about just one thing. It's really a mix of three key ingredients. First, you've got interest rates. Yeah, there was a small cut, but it hasn't been enough to really spark demand because overall affordability is still a huge strain. Second, supply is surging. Just more listings, more new homes being finished, giving buyers more choice than ever. And the final piece of the puzzle is the human element, buyer sentiment. A lot of people are just feeling cautious, taking a wait-and-see approach, and that's causing a major pause. Okay, so that's the what and the why. Now we get to the most important part. What does all this mean for you? Let's talk about some real, actionable advice for navigating this market in the fall of 2025. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Whether you're a buyer who's been patiently waiting on the sidelines, or you're a seller wondering if you've missed the peak, is now actually the right time to make a move? The big takeaway here is that you've got to be strategic. So for buyers, listen up. This is your moment. You have options, you have negotiation power. Don't be afraid to be picky and come in with a strong, well-researched offer. Now, for sellers, the game is completely changed. The key is to price your home realistically from day one and just be mentally prepared for it to be on the market longer than you might have expected a year ago. Patience is absolutely critical. So that leaves us with this one big, lingering question. This cooler, more balanced market is a massive change from the frenzy we've all gotten used to over the past few years. But is this the new normal, or is this just the quiet before the next storm? That's the question we're all going to be watching.